So I don't have any particular special attachment to zebras. They don't mean much to me, except that they seem to mean a lot to those around me. You see, whenever I was a kid, I learned very quickly how to draw things. Obviously, you got the house drawings and the drawings of the sun up in the corner and the birds that are just shaped like a letter V and that sort of thing. But I also learned how to draw zebras. And as a matter of fact, just for you, I'm going to draw one. And the reason that I'm going to draw this and show you is because this is very significant. All right, you see, you see that? Okay, here we go. Okay, you got your square as such, and then you draw that little line right across there, and then you draw the body. Make your little lines for the legs and around to the stomach and up to those legs in the back, and this little tail with the 3 hairs. Make a little part for the legs in the front there and in the back, and you draw his dick like that, and then you draw his eyes, draw the stripes on his face, the stripes across the rest of the body, and it disguises the dick because it looks like it's one of the stripes just got misdrawn. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because whenever I was working for that supermarket that I told you about, I started drawing them on random objects. The first time I drew one was on the bulletin board in the employee break room, and everybody thought it was the funniest damn thing. Oh my goodness, it's a cute little cartoon drawing of a zebra, and it's so random and funny. And I was, of course, egged on to do it again, and I started drawing them in the weirdest spots. I drew one on the wall in the back room above the shipping and receiving lady's computer. I drew one on an insulated tube above the meat freezer. I drew one in the hinge of the door going into the produce freezer. And as a matter of fact, I drew them in places that customers could see too if they looked hard enough, like underneath shelves and whatnot. Everybody thought it was just this big fucking scavenger hunt, and they wanted to find where I'd drawn a zebra today. And the manager would look at the security cameras to see if he'd get a head start on it. It was fucking hilarious, and I don't know. People are just so easily entertained around here. But I drew, in total, in that supermarket, 50 of them. And the 50th one I drew 4 days before I quit working for that company and came to work for the company I'm working for now. And I told everybody, because nobody saw me draw it, and I drew it in a place that could not be seen by security footage. I told everybody I have drawn the 50th and final zebra in celebration of me quitting. Its name is Chris, and it is somewhere in the store. And I want y'all to find it within 2 weeks of my quitting. And if you can, I will give the person who finds it $1,000. They couldn't believe it. This is the most harebrained scheme he's ever come up with. I mean, what do you get out of this? I said, I get the satisfaction of knowing you can find my 50th zebra. And and of course, this launched a gigantic hunt around the store, and the employees weren't doing their jobs. The manager was aggravated, but was also looking for the zebra. And about a week later, the assistant manager called me, a week after I'd quit. The assistant manager called me and asked me, where in the hell did you hide that zebra? Can you at least give me a hint? I said, I haven't given anybody else a hint. She said, okay, can you give all of us a hint? So I drove to that store, and I told the employees by putting a note card on the bulletin board in their break room that it was on aisle 12, which was the dairy aisle. And of course, that led to mass pandemonium on the dairy aisle once everybody was aware of that note's presence in the break room. They tore up the cheese. They went all through the milk freezer, which was right there, through the butter. I mean, they made a mess of that store trying to find that zebra. And they couldn't find it in time. 2 weeks had passed. They could not find where I'd hidden zebra number 50. But on the day before their deadline was up, I told them it was behind the milk. Put a little note card on the bulletin board, said it was behind the milk, and they emptied that milk freezer out. The manager said that they wound up losing all of the milk that was in there because it had defrosted, had cooled down to room temperature because of how often they were going in and out of that refrigerator for the milk. Walking in to try and find it, walking out to get warm, walking back in to try and find it. You'd have 7 or 8 employees in there at a time trying to find the damn zebra. It was hilarious. And like I say, they couldn't find it in time. So I went there a day after my bet was up. Everybody was very mad at me. They said there's no way there's a fucking zebra anywhere. We've scoured every inch of the store, including aisle 12. I said, okay, give me the 14-foot ladder out of the back room back there, the service closet. They didn't think of using a ladder. They stood it up on aisle 12, and I walked up that ladder to the sign, the placard that hangs at either end of the aisle, except it was the back placard for the back of the store. And it says on that sign what items are on that aisle: eggs, butter, cheese, and milk. I grabbed that milk sign and slid it out of its slot, and there I'd drawn in whiteout on this big black board at the end of the aisle, the 50th zebra. They about knocked me off the damn ladder. Yep, I was a very proud man as I walked out of that store. They couldn't defeat me. They couldn't best me. And I haven't really been back since, actually. Kind of moved away, but anyways, the only other zebra story I have is that I drew one of those that wound up in Nigeria. I believe it was Nigeria. I don't remember if Nigeria is landlocked or not. It's somewhere in Africa. But the reason I drew it was because it was my third week of working for this company, so about 6 years ago. And I had gotten onto a job site with a superintendent who had a bit of a name for himself in the company. He was kind of an asshole. Nobody really liked him. And so there was a company named Brody, which was just outside of Statesboro, which is also in Georgia. And I went there for the first day of working at that job site, and I pulled up in the lot and I saw his truck sitting there, and I hopped out and walked over to him, and he rolled down the window and said, "Hey son, how are you?" I said, "I'm all right, sir, how are you?" "I'm doing pretty good. I guess you heard the stories about me." I said, "I really haven't heard any kind of stories, sir. What are you talking about?" "Well, people around here don't really like me too much. They say I'm a bit of an asshole." I said, "Okay, well, I mean, I prefer to judge a person by how I experience them rather than the stories of others, so I guess we'll see, won't we?" Well, it turned out he was the nicest superintendent I've ever worked for. I've worked for about 50 different people in this company, most of whom were superintendents, some of whom were just foremen, but he was a jam-up kind of guy. He was an old man, about 70 years old, been in electrical since he was in his teens, and just a joy to work for. He really did his best, nice as he could be, wasn't an asshole. The reason people didn't like him is because he was the quality control person for our company, and that means that everybody hates him because he's the kind of guy that goes to the job site to tell everybody what they're doing wrong and how they need to improve it to be able to work according to the National Electric Code as well as just basic common sense. So people didn't like him because he was critiquing them. So I enjoyed working with him, and it was a good job site. But on the last day that I was working there, I wanted to draw a zebra, because I hadn't drawn a zebra since I quit from that other company. So I really wanted to draw a zebra somewhere. So the machine that we were working on, that we were wiring up for this company, was designed to be put onto ships to pump fuel on and off the ships. That's what this company Brody made. And so I had just finished wiring up one of the control cabinets on this thing, and looked over there, nobody's around, so I pulled out my Sharpie marker and I laid down on the slab underneath this thing because it's jacked up on stilts, and I drew on the bottom of it, on the structure of it, a zebra, number 51, and I named it Sam. And I got done drawing it, got out from under that piece of equipment. The CEO of the company is standing there, the big boss man, for whom we were making this thing and wiring it up. And I about shit my britches. I said, "Okay, well, I'm fired now. I'll probably be in prison somehow." And the man said, "What you doing down there, son?" I said, "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't think it would be too big of a problem. I just wanted to leave, a little something to remember me by on the bottom of this piece of equipment. I know it's got all these marks of rust and things on it. I didn't know if it'd be an issue. If you want me to, I can rub it off." He said, "Well, let me see what you drew." And he got down under there and looked at it. And he got back up and he said, "Boy, do you know where this piece of machinery is headed?" I said, "No, sir, I don't." He said, "It's going to be on a ship going to Nigeria." I said, "Okay. Am I fired? Like, do I need to, like?" He said, "So I'm just letting you know your zebra's going to wind up in Nigeria in a couple months." Walked off. I felt like I had the elephant lifted off of my shoulders. That was the scariest thing I'd ever dealt with. And I was so damn happy that he did not go and tell my boss or kick me in the ass or put me back in my truck forcibly or any of that kind of thing. I was so very happy. And I can honestly say that I sent a zebra to Nigeria. With that being said, I got to drive. I did a video later today because I didn't get a chance to take lunch break today. I was just too damn busy, so I didn't do the video at noon Eastern time like usual. So that's why this is coming out so late, and I got to go so I can get home. Y'all have a hilarious evening. Watch out for zebras.